folks, it's been, well, it feels like it's been such a long time since I've sat here and spoken to you. It's been one of the busiest little seasons that I can actually remember, and certainly since moving here to Arran pretty much exactly a year ago from now. So it's really good to see you again today. I just thought I'd come on and give you a little bit of an update on what's happening with all the nitty goodness, share with you again some of our lovely summer activities that we've been up to here on Arran, and give you a little bit of update where we're at with the Beanie Along 2023. So great to see you. Let's get on with it. Now, first of all, I want to talk to you about my works in progress, and to be perfectly honest with you, there's only one work in progress at the moment, as it's been a hugely busy time, filled with loads of other stuff, but there has been some knitting getting done. If you follow me on Instagram at all, and I think I may have mentioned it on my last video, I'm currently in the middle of, I'm in the process of starting a project for myself, a sweater, and the sweater I'm knitting is the Dustland sweater by Stephen West. I may have mentioned that before. If you've seen my other videos, you know that I've made the Dustland hat, I've made the Dustland shawl, and I just love the lovely combinations of patterns you get with the knits and the pearls. For me, it's very reminiscent of the sort of fisherman's ganses type of thing. So I decided that I was going to go ahead and knit myself a version of the Dustland sweater, as I say. And I picked my yarn. I went for a sort of green colour. It's actually a very similar colour to the green that I'm wearing. I don't know how well that comes across on screen. But that was the wool I picked. And here is the work that I have done so far. You'll have to excuse it being scrunched up because it's on the circular needles. But if I hold it up, you'll see there's the extra shaping around the back, around the neck, which gives you the height at the back. And then that tapers at the front, where you go straight into the pattern. So it starts off with the garter stitch around the edge, lovely yoke thing here at the collar, expands out with some garter, German short rows, and then into the diagonal rib before a few garter stitches and some moss stitch, then some broken rib, and of course, I actually started this when I went away on my vacation, my holiday, and was going great guns, and I actually had about that much more done. And it was another section of diagonal rib, and I was just sort of knitting away in some blissful holiday stupor when all of a sudden looked down and discovered that several rows back, maybe an eighth around the whole sweater, I had gone wrong. And I thought to myself, can I live with this? Can I live with it? And I thought, no, I really don't think I can. So what I had to do, of course, was take it back to one of the garter ridges in between the patterns, pick up all those, put in a lifeline with this lovely, blue extra stuff, get the lifeline in there and then pull it back. And then when I pulled it back to the particular row that I'd pulled it back to, I realised that I'd pulled it back to a row just before I had done a whole load of increases. From something like 250 stitches up to 300 and something. So I then had to go back and pick up all the stitches, do all the adding stitches at various space incrementations around the project, and then try and get back on track. So I managed to rescue that having come back from holiday, and so that's why I'm not as far along with this as it could possibly be, but we're getting there. So I'm knitting this on my new bamboo chaigus, which are still doing a lovely job. Really love doing those, and the wool I'm using it's actually a 50% wool, 50% acrylic. By Surdar, so it's a sort of, just a mass-produced sort of wine in their country classic. But it's a lovely sort of green colour. Doesn't actually give the shade, I don't think. No, it's just a bizarre number. But this stuff's made by West Yorkshire Spinners, so it's some sort of collaboration or something like that. And it's got this lovely sort of bottle green colour. Again, I don't know how well that will come up on the screen. I've got a little bit of natural light coming in the window there. But I say my kind of colour, the kind of stuff that I wear, if it's not blue, it's green. So I'm quite pleased with it. And to be honest with you, if at the end of the day, when I'm finished this, once it's all sorted and blocked and off the needles, if it's not big enough for me, not the end of the world. But I have purposefully this time tried to not knit this huge massive thing, because I think sometimes in my head, I'm a lot bigger of a person than I actually am. So everything I've knit before, excuse me, everything I've knit before has just been absolutely massive. So I'm hoping that this will be something that actually I can wear and that I'll be proud of. But I'm really enjoying it. I really love the sort of nature of getting all the different stitches in, and it's coming up really nice. I'm not too far from sort of splitting off for the sleeves, I don't think. And then I say it's just all the various patterns down the body, and picking up the sleeves and then carrying those patterns down with the sleeves as well. So that's the Dustland sweater by Stephen West. I haven't tried any of his shawl knit-alongs or sock knit-alongs or anything like that. Maybe if you've done some of those, you can tell me how you got on with them. I don't know, depending on what season of life it's in, I don't know if I've got all the time to be following clues like that every day. So I haven't done any, but they do look interesting. So that's my main work in progress. And then I have also been trying to work away at doing some beanies for the Beanie Along 2023, which is coming to a close in a few weeks. So I'll be posting details both on YouTube and on Instagram about where to send your completed beanies. It's been great to see so much of your work appearing on YouTube, and sometimes even via email or Instagram or wherever it is. It's been really lovely to see that, and thank you so much to everyone who's taken part. And so the aim here is to have addresses available for you to send off those gifts to places where they'll be able to use those to those that are vulnerable and those that are in need. As we come into winter in the Northern Hemisphere, do have some connections too with folks in the Southern Hemisphere, and I'm sure they'd be happy to receive your knits, even although it's coming into summer down there. But they'll keep, of course, and they'll be in use towards the end of the year. So that's all my knitting. That's all I've got to show. My Dustland sweater, a few more hats, but there's some more knitting activity going along. Just coming up this weekend, we have a lovely event that happens here on the Isle of Arran called Arran Open Studios. Arran has a proliferation of very skilled and creative artists. Everything from making furniture out of whiskey barrels to fine art painting and sculpting and all sorts of traditional crafts and everything else like that. But as part of this Arran Open Studios weekend, all the artists on the island open up their studios, and you can go around and visit and see all their processes, do workshops and various things. Well, Sannox Christian Centre, where I work part of the week, we take part in the Arran Open Studios. We have a number of artists who are friends of Sannox, and they come and they display their goods and their arts, and we put on workshops and various things. So I am going to be doing some workshops there this weekend. On Friday, doing just some very basic knitting introduction, get yourself started type workshop. On Saturday afternoon, I'm going to be teaching the magic loop method and hopefully get some people started on some beanies, either for themselves or maybe they might be able to contribute to the beanie along. And then on Sunday afternoon, I'm going to be brave and do a little beginners Fair Isle workshop. So really looking forward to that. I've got all my supplies in. Meg at No Frills Knitting, who I keep mentioning, has supplied me with some needles some cabled needles as well that I can be giving away as to all those that are coming on the workshop. So really looking forward to that. And as I say, it's just our contribution to some of the stuff that's happening on the island, and hopefully I'll have some of that to show you later in this video. But if I don't, it's because it's been too busy and I just haven't had time. Have been able to take just a few videos though of some of the events that have been happening recently on Arran. The first of those is the Arran Farmers Society Agricultural Show, which usually is absolutely dogged by torrential rain, and it wasn't that much different this year. Additionally, we also, a few days after that, have the Brodick Highland Games, and I know that I got a good bit more footage of that to show you. We were there as part of the Sannox and the Baptist community, offering folks the opportunity to come and stick a label on a prayer tree with prayer requests and other ways that we can support them. But absolutely great to be there on a lovely family occasion. So, time in our programme now to go over and have a look at some of those events, and I'll see you back here very shortly.
on, Scott. And he's got on the fanciest shorts I've ever seen. This must help him. Oh yeah! Come on, Mr. Ernie Weir. Come on, let's get behind there, mate. Come on. Third and final attempt for Scott Clark. Come on, Scott. Yes, well done, Scott.
And over 800 metres if they come to the line on the track. Men 17 years and over, senior men for the 800 metres.
Well, there you go. I hope you enjoyed those few pieces of footage from, again, the Arran Farmers Show and the Brodick Highland Games. Absolutely fantastic days. Really brilliant community events. The whole community comes out, and our little villages, which are normally fairly sleepy, absolutely bustling with people from all over the place. Really great fun. So this afternoon's actually going to be a little bit of a nitty afternoon for me. Because as part of the weekend coming up, as part of the Arran Open Studios, I'm also going to be displaying some of my various knitted things as part of the display space. So I'm going to go around the whole of the house and try and gather all sorts of examples of projects that I've done and all that sort of thing, just to give folks a little bit of a glimpse. I say I don't tend to knit to sell things or make any particular finance from the stuff that I do. It's all entirely for the pleasure of knitting. But hopefully, if folks can see that a big old Scottish bloke like me can produce some half decent stuff, it might inspire them to come along and do something similar, and hopefully as well invite a few folks along to watch these video podcast thingamajiggies. So it'll be an afternoon of gathering the knits together, getting some of them blocked and prepared to go on display up at Sannox for the Arran Open Studios events. And not too long now, during the weekend of the 8th to the 10th of September, we have the next of our Sannox Stitches knitting retreats, which I'm really looking forward to. It just so happens to be that the 8th of September is my birthday, so I'm looking forward to spending my birthday weekend doing some nitty shenanigans, and really looking forward to that. Life for us continues to go apace. We are enjoying the summer, but life is still busy. And especially more busy because we seem to somehow have been talked into getting a new dog. So we have a lovely little Labrador Retriever whose name is Dougal, and I'll insert a picture of him here. He is the sweetest. And he's actually very, very placid. He comes and he sleeps through the night, and he'll occasionally lie at your feet and be very sweet. That's when he's not trying to eat you or eat the house, or run around the house like a mad person or a mad dog. But he's a very nice addition to the family, and looking forward to spending some of my time during the day with him. He'll come all sorts of places with me, and half be in the car and be out and about as I'm doing various things around the island. So we've welcomed little Dougal, and as well as that, my doctoral studies are still going on, although a little bit of a quiet period over these last few weeks. I've got a fair few symposiums and online thingamy what's it do jazz coming up as well, which I'm sure will be very intellectually stimulating and challenging and inspirational. I'll let you know once I've done it. But really, not a lot to show this time round, but really wanted to come back, show my face, say hello, to promise you that I'll be in touch with the final details of the Beanie Along 2023, and to say thank you for your continued interest, your continued support, and I hope that whatever it is you're knitting on at the moment, you're really enjoying it. But before I say cheerio for today, here is your Gaelic lesson. I know that you'll be just ready to get this into your vocabulary, so here we go. Now, today's Gaelic phrase is one that I know that many of you will find incredibly useful, especially if you're gathering some years, or especially if you're a busy mum or dad or family member or co-worker or whatever it is you are. You will need the Gaelic phrase hamiski. Hamiski. Hamiski means I am tired. I have to say it's one of the most commonly used Gaelic phrase that comes out of this mouth. Hamiski. Or you can say hamiski and Jew. That means hamiski, I am tired today. And some of you might even want to say hamiski amarach, I am tired tomorrow, because that, will be your reality. So if you want to say I am tired, you say hamiski. Or I am very tired, hamigleski. So there you go. It's a bit of a personal testimony, hamigleski, but it's been great to see you today. Martian Lave and Drasta, Agus Bianach Jegud. Take care and God bless.